Hello everyone and welcome to one of the last videos of the Gellerpox Mutant. We are going to continue with his wounds. In this case we are going to work on the back one, okay? And for this we are going to apply one wash of the red ink from green stuff wall, okay? And I'm going to apply it for all the wound to mark all the different volumes and details of this area. Okay, the same as always, just be careful. If you paint a little bit around the wound, it's okay, because this red is going to make the effect like the flesh is damaged or it's insane, for say it on some way. And well, meanwhile the wash is drying, I'm going to go for the Aberland Sunset, okay, from Citadel, and with it I'm going to paint all the pustules and all this little stuff he has all around the body, okay. I'm going to apply it directly from the bottle, okay. The color was pretty new, so for a base you don't need to put water or thin the paint, okay. It will get that yellow with just one layer. Just go carefully with it, okay. And it's only going and paint all of these little balls and marks and all this nasty stuff he have. I'm going to use this base because after this I'm going to apply a wash of red again in all the pustules, and with that we will have this effect of something disgusting. It's going to be a very colorful model. It's going to look interesting. It's very important at this point just to try to not put too much yellow around, okay. Keep a little bit of room between all these little details, so when you put the wash or ink or whatever effect you are going to put, if he has another color or darker color between the different areas, is going to help to the wash to make more visible this effect. Anyway, if you paint all the area in yellow, it's going to work also, but maybe it's not going to mark it so deepest as if you keep a little bit of room. Just try to paint all of them, so when we have to go for the wash, you don't have to come back again to paint with yellow because you have find someone that you have forgive it. Also here on the head it looks like he has something else, and also on the leg I'm going to paint all of them like it was all the same kind of pustule. All around. Maybe later, if we have time, I'm going to finish the legs, because they are only with the base and the first washes. If not, it's alright, because you have already seen what I want to show you with all the torso model. Okay, meanwhile it's drying the paint and the wash on the back, okay. I'm going to keep working with the wings of the fly. As I told you, I use a pale green, a very clear green, okay. And now it's everything dry. It was just this. Okay, and now we are going to work with the pants. I'm going to try to make some kind of effect like all leather or like dirty clothes, And for it I'm going to mix the dumbbell from Citadel with black, okay, with the proportion as you have seen on the bottom. And now it's just apply another regular base, trying to cover everything, and then we will start working with detail. I think I'm not going to work with any kind of washes on the pants. I'm going just to paint all the lights, so you can see also another way to do it. And it's just a little bit faster because you don't have to wait until all the wash is dry. Both ways to work are good. The result is going to be nice. It's just if you want to try other things, or if you want to try to go faster, this is one way to do it. Now with the bases and with most of the model already painted, it's necessary to keep a little bit more of attention painting these kind of areas to not paint something else, and you don't have to correct and lose time repainting some or correcting some mistake. Remember all the areas. It look like he has some kind of different cloth under the belly. I think I'm going to paint everything on the same mold, on the same way, and later maybe I make different kind of brown tones in different areas. But for the moment the base is going all to be the browns from Citadel. I really like them. I have a lot of them, and some of the mixes or the recipes I have for brown cloth at the end are 2-3 different browns mixing between them. The Agrax shade from wash from Citadel, it's really good for this kind of colors. So this is why I also told you that if you want to use this kind of wash with these colors, it's going to work perfectly. Just as I told you, very carefully to not go away with the brush and keeping the control wherever you want to go. Okay, already is all the base painted. The base is almost dry, so I'm going to keep painting it with the dumbbell, the same as I used for the mix, but now without any kind of black. We are going now to start creating volume and start marking all the details and all the areas that we want to get important on the trousers. Okay, so we are going to keep painting all the upper areas, okay, like if it was daylight. This kind of painting also works if you want to make it like a lateral paint or from some other direction. I like to paint from a skylight, okay, like it comes from the top, because it's more easy for you to know where you have to put the lights and where you want to create the volume and the effects. And also this kind of light, it's more normal on films, on photo, on the theaters, and it's because it's more spectacular. It draws better the forms of what they want to show you, and this is why they also work very good on miniatures, because at the end you just want to paint the miniature on the best way to show how it is, what he have, and it gets a very good result, and I think it's faster than paint everything like he has light from everywhere. Okay, as you can see, just keeping a little bit the dark brown on the under areas and all the top just with one long layer. I'm going to paint it. You are going to see all the brush strokes. We don't care. It's also it also work with this kind of model. Maybe if you are painting some Infinity that they are more small miniatures, or some 75 millimeters miniatures that they are bigger, maybe you want to make something cleaner. In this case, I just want to show that he has brown trousers, And the brushstrokes, if they don't have the most clean transitions, it's okay, because this guy, I think he doesn't care a lot with his trousers. For the next step, you don't need to get another brown. If you got another clear brown, you can use it. In this case, I'm going to make it mixing the Averland Sunset and Dumble. The yellows work very good with some browns, okay, not with all. But in this case, I want to create this kind of very clear brown, like it was wool or whatever, and the yellow helps a lot. If you and also you keep getting the intensity of the color. It's the same as I told you before. Like if you are going with some white or some color too much clear, maybe you are killing the intensity and the life that the color have. And now it's just going a little bit more carefully, just painting all the lines, all the volumes, all the forms of the trousers, and just try to respect a little bit the room between the different parts of the trousers to make more visible all the details. Also in the points, just where the trousers are broken, to mark more difference between the legs or the body, I'm going also to paint it. Here, as you can see, I'm just painting all the parts that got some kind of detail. Here on the side there is a very big area without anything, so I'm going to create a little bit of texture, just painting more with points and lines. Here the same, just a little bit to create more difference between areas, and some lines just also for draw. If you don't have detail, always some lines, some scratch, it will helps to create something interesting on areas that they are with any kind of detail, like this side. Also here, just a little bit to make it more visible, and it's just keeping the same way that we have doing with all the miniature. As you can see, maybe it can look like, okay, this guy is painting totally random all the lines and all the points. Not a lot. I'm really focusing in some areas. I really know what I want to do, okay? Because you have to always think that what is going to be your next step, or if it's going to be a next step. Maybe you don't want to paint more, you just want to give some lights. So it's important what you want to do before to know what are you doing at the moment. And now with the tones that I have, I'm just going to add one more light, okay, adding more Averland Sunset to the mix. I think the proportions under there are a little bit wrong, but maybe I think it's more 70-80 of the Averland and just a 30-20 of black, and not black, sorry, with the Dumble. And we keep the same. Now we are just painting a little bit less than before, than after, sorry. And here just the small details, all the scratch, all the damage of the cloth, and some lines to show the forms that he have. I'm almost just painting all the edges. Here I'm going to paint a little bit more the line I have done, and and also there, and the definition of the miniature is going to, it's starting to have a little bit more, most on the trousers, that there was a little bit pity. Here just some points, as you can see, a little bit crazy with the brush, but also it will help to the transition. If you just paint like one stroke, maybe it's more, it's not so aesthetic for the view. If you paint with dots, with some lines and all of this, you are creating the light, you are creating the volume, and also you are giving it a little bit of texture. On the first mix I done for the base, I'm going to add a little bit more of black, and now I'm going to mark more the shadow areas to create more contrast on the trousers and on the volumes that he have on the legs. As you can see here under his ass, I'm going to paint a little bit of black under the leg also, just here where he have the leg a little bit flexioned, or sorry, I don't know what is the word, I will keep this again, and I'm just painting all the areas I think he will need a little bit more of darkest, just to give him more contrast on this point. Okay, and I think with that we can leave the trousers done, and I think we can keep working on the wound on his bust because the wash is already dried. And now if we want some kind of color to create the effect like the flesh, it's a live wound that it have resin or it keeps bleeding, I'm going to paint with the scarlet I used before, and I'm going to put a little bit of the golden flesh from Vallejo model color, and I'm going to create like a salmon color mixing both of them. You can see it's almost 50-50, and with this I'm going to start all the little parts inside the wound, so it will create like an effect like it's this one is not healed, it's infected, and the flesh it's rotten over there. So all the details, all the volumes he have, I'm going to start to paint it just with small brush strokes, or maybe in some points I'm just going to mark with a little dot over there. And as you can see, I keep all the room between, like on the trousers or like on the pustules. I'm just marking the top of the volumes. And keeping also in mind to put the light always on the upper areas or of every detail. As you can see, just with this, the wand, yeah, it starts looking like it's something more detailed and not just a red with a wash. Okay, and I'm going to add white. I don't care if in this point the white kill me a little bit the color, because maybe later I'm going to apply some kind of effect from workshop to create the blood or something like this. And I'm just paint the same like I have painted before, just keeping the lights on smaller areas inside the first light I have done. And just with this you will see all the flesh under the wound. It really starts to look very disgusting, so I think for an Urgle model this is good. I'm going to add a little bit of the gory red to the mix, okay, and also I'm going to thin it a little bit more, and just dry the brush to not go crazy and don't go with too much paint. And now I'm going to start like making a glaze all around on the flesh, all around the wound, okay, to make it that this to give the sensation that this flesh it's recently damaged, or when one wound is infected, all around the wound is it have this kind of red tones. And also here I just add a little bit of the scarlet red, and now I just going to paint all the edges around the wound. You can start watching that this one looks more like a one and not just a red mass of different stuff. Okay, and now with this purple what I'm going to create is a little bit of contrast and also a little bit of difference between the flesh around the wound and the wound, because if you put too much red in one side and too much red inside, at the end it doesn't look so clear what is what, and it's a little bit confused everything. So now what I have done is to thin a lot the purple color, okay, with a lot of water. Then I have dried the brush on paper to just get a little bit of color on the brush. And now with some strokes all around the one, I'm going to create all this purple effect to make the flesh like it is rotten. And also I'm already creating a little bit of contrast between the skin and the wound. And also I'm watching that he has like worms and flies on the one, so everything is very beautiful on this model. Okay, now I'm going to add directly white to the beaten purple, okay, as you can see down here, 60-40. And again I'm going to paint just a little bit dots and a little and some small lines all around the flesh in all the edges, so we will draw all the form of this part. Now painting with a little bit more carefully and having all the control you need on the brush to not make a mess. And now you can see, okay, this kind of effect, or what you have seen now, you can make it in too many different kind of wounds or flesh, and also if you are painting some kind of a Nurgle monster, or if you have some model wounded. And now, okay, we are going to leave the one. I am going to give a wash of Pecatum flesh of the pustule. This is the one of the flesh from Green Staff Wall. As you can see, this starts to look very different just with the yellow, and it looks like it's also infected and it's something wrong over there with all this red around. Then later with just one light over there, it will look perfectly. Perfectly for what we are looking for. Okay, and it's just apply in all the pustules that we have painted before. If it keeps a little bit shining, it's okay. It also works perfectly when you have this kind of things on the flesh, like deformities or wounds or all of this stuff. If it shines a little bit, it looks better. Sometimes I have one bottle of gloss varnish, and I use it to paint it before. I'm using to paint it after finishing the model when I want to create some effects. Okay, we have this very advanced, and I'm going to paint the nipples. I'm going to make a little bit of mix, taking a little bit of the red and the salmon that we have used before, and I've just marked it a little bit, 2 little dots, okay. And it's always nice when the miniature have all his details painted. And on this point of the miniature, he has a lot of work already done. I think it's time to start focusing on the glasses that he have on his head, okay. And here with the red wash, I'm just painting all around, a little bit of shadow all around the glasses to help me in the future when I start paint all the metal parts that he have on the head, and also to mark all the different details and forms that he have on his head. And well, after this I was thinking to paint the lens of the glasses with some green to not repeat with the red of the eyes, but I think that it's nice when it have a lot of colors, it looks good, but we don't want a walking discotheque, so I think I'm going to the red for the lens of the eyes, okay, because the red is always a good option for these kinds of monster. So for this I'm going to use, as I do it before, Gory red and Cador red, okay, and this is going to be the base of the lens. Also, this is not the original head of the miniature. I just use this because the small ones, I think they look much better than the heads of the big guys. I think I don't have any of the big guys with the original heads. I didn't like them too much. And as you can see, okay, it's a simple base, red, perfect. Just do it clean to not repair, to not fix some mistake. And now I'm going to create a medium gray, mixing just a little bit of white with yellow, okay, and start painting the line in all the structure that he have all around the lens, okay. All of this that is like he got it stacked on his head. Okay, it's just trying to respect all the black in the borders, that they will help you to create the contrast, to draw all the edge of this point of the miniature. So this is why I'm going to paint it very carefully, okay. It's important to keep the paint of your brush very strong, okay. And as you can see, just a tiny line, just following the same form of the glasses. To keep the point plain, I use my fingers, I use the paper, whatever I need, just to create the form on the brush, and I will go more safe if I got the brush on the form as where I want to paint. Okay, on the top I am also adding a little bit more of gray. It's a little bit out of the plane, sorry. This on the future videos I'm taking a lot of care about this. Okay, here as you can see I'm just painting a little bit more gray in the last part of the lens, okay, to create and drawing a little bit the what we want to show of this miniature. Also on the middle here has a little bit of the metal part, of the metallic part of the glasses, so very carefully with just the point of the brush I'm going to draw the lines And these very teeny details, this is what I think that always give this next step of quality from a tabletop miniature. Just taking a lot of care to find all the detail and to get clear and show all that the miniature have. I'm going to add a little bit more of white to the mix to create more contrast, and just a little thinny point, okay, in all the tops. Also, this is like if you were painting a non-metallic gray or something like this. It's just create very high contrast in small areas, finishing on starting from a black, like in this case, and finishing in almost white. And for the lens, to not repeat the same reds as the eyes of the fly, I'm going to paint them a little bit more orange, okay, like this effect of something virtual or something electronic. I think I'm almost here on 1 hour of video. This is why I'm cutting them. So I think we are going to next and keep painting this miniature on the next video. So thank you for watching and see you guys.